Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge, and let's talk horror. Today we are doing a My First Horror Movie special, and this is because this person is in a movie that means so much to me for so many different reasons. Today I have Franky G. Franky, how you doing, man?
Hey, how you doing, Ken? Thank you for having me.
Oh, dude, anytime. I'm sorry you're still trapped in that dank bathroom.
I thought I'd just put that up to give it a little flavor, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I was like, damn, when they cut my neck and stuff, you know?
That's commitment, man. Like, yeah, that's commitment. So as you guys already know, if you're watching this, you are obviously huge fans of the genre. You know Franky G from Saw 2, but you may also know him from The Italian Job, Wonderland, Dead Man Down. Also been in an episode of CSI Miami, one of my favorite shows of all time. So, man, before we get started with anything, I just want to say, we were talking about this a little bit ago, but you have one of the most iconic scenes to me in the whole Saw franchise when you realize that you can't get the number off the back of your neck. So you have to take that knife and cut the number off the back of your own neck. It's one of those scenes as you're watching, you're like, this guy is a bad motherfucker, man. So to be able to have you here on this means so much to me. So what was it like for you filming on Saw 2? Is this something that's still, do you still have people come up to you today like, Xavier, like, is it kind of calmed down a little bit?
No, I still get that, especially on Halloween. I live in a private community, and so sometimes the little kids, when they come around, I'm in the gym, they go, Xavier, oh my God, Xavier, and they want to take pictures and stuff like that because they love the Saw movies. But yeah, I still get that today. I could, if I wear the goatee, like if I have the half goatee, they go, oh, wait a minute, that's Xavier. And I'm gonna tell you, my son is named Xavier, but I didn't name it after. But what's so funny was that my wife loved that name, not because of the movie, because she never saw the movie when we met, but she just loved the name, and she just kept, so it's Xavier Frank. So that's what we did.
That's so cool, man. And so with now Spiral's coming out, whenever there's a new Saw release, is it something for you that's like, Spiral came out today when you guys are watching, this is dropping on Friday, so is it something that when a new movie comes out you are into them, or is it something, do you stay up with the franchise?
Spiral, what's that? That's with, who's in that? Is that with these two? I forgot his name.
Chris Rock and Samuel Jackson.
Yes.
New.
Oh yeah, I when I see that, I said, oh, they're showing this thing. I read up on it, but I don't know if I will go see it. But I just read up upon it. That's it. But every time a Saw movie comes out, I read up about it. But a lot of people always tell me, and they got Saw 2 is really the best one out of the whole bunch. You know, I wish I was still living because I like to cut people up sometimes, you know?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If you watch Saw 2, you're almost the villain in that movie opposed to Jigsaw. I mean, you throw her in the needles, you know, and you're going
Ken, I got a story for that, dude.
I would love to hear it.
So I went to the premiere. And I see what's her name? Smith. So she comes up to me and said, Frank, you will forget about it. You were freaking epic in this movie. Yeah, blah, 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 right? And then you know what she tells me? She told me she was 4 months pregnant when I threw her into the pit. And I said, what? 4 months? Are you kidding me? She goes, Frank, if I would have told you, you would have never done what you did on that scene. I said, that's true. But my God, I was like, everything okay? No, everything you know, because I would have just put her down rather than throw her in the wait a minute. So,
lowered her gently into the pit of needles.
Yes, exactly.
And not only that, but in a franchise, it doesn't have very, until the later, you know, installments, they don't have a lot of the slasher type feel. But you are almost, you know, the Jason Voorhees of this film, the Michael Myers, you know, you are going to do whatever the fuck it takes for you to live. Absolutely.
And so the director was thinking about so many different things, what to do, what would you do on this, what would you say, I just let it happen. You know what I mean? I just try to let it have fun, because everything this movie Saw 2 was shot in a warehouse in Canada, just one big warehouse. And all the traps were there. And it was just crazy how everything just was put together by Darren, the director, Darren Bosman.
And it's one of those films that you can go back and watch all the time, because I love the first Saw, and that twist reveal at the end gets me every time. But Saw 2 really takes you into more of a demented type of feeling, because with Saw 2, you are just there all the time, and it's more just not just one room now. You're going from room to room to room doing different things.
Right.
So that's why, to me, Saw 2 is really where this franchise stepped up, because you're not just trapped in a dank bathroom the whole time. You have different people that are trying to do whatever they can. Some of them want to save each other. Others just want to save themselves. Right. And that's what I love about Saw 2 as in comparison to Saw 1.
Yes. When I first saw I didn't know what it was all about, to tell you the truth. I used to see the posters, and I never went to see the movie, actually. So I got approached to do Saw 2, but I never saw the first one. And after I finished, I was doing the movie, and after I was wrapped, I went back to California, and the agents came up to me, hey, listen, Darren wants you for this film, Saw. And I'm like, but I never watched the movie. But then they sent me the script, and I really enjoyed the script. So they sent me the DVD, and I saw the first movie, and I thought it was so clever, very interesting. I really got into it. So I called Darren. I flew over to Canada. We spoke, and that's when I got the role as Xavier.
Yeah, I love it. You're perfectly cast in that role too, because like I said, you couldn't cast. I couldn't have played Xavier. You know, I got the body of a 13-year-old Chinese girl, but you know, you have to be a badass to play Xavier, and it was amazing to watch you, man. It was such an honor, and like I said, you are now an iconic part of horror history because of your role. But the movie that you and I are going to talk about now, I want to go back to the past and talk about your first horror movie. And while we're talking about iconic horror, your first horror movie was
Dawn of the Dead. Oh my God! I don't know how can I say it was just crazy with these zombies and tearing these people apart, and the guts, and eating the guts. It just, you know, here I am, I'm watching this, and I'm getting blown away by it. It kind of freaked me out. I'm gonna tell you right now, it did freak me out. So because
do you remember how old you were the first time you watched it?
Oh my God, I must have been like 17, 18 years old. I think it was 18, something like that. And then I used to watch the Ben movies with, you know, with the rats, and Carrie, Halloween. I really loved Halloween. But the gory movies, man, I don't know if I can sit through that.
So with Dawn of the Dead, because this is a movie that, and obviously with Saw 2 being the gory movie that it is, Dawn of the Dead has a lot of scenes like that as well that are very impactful and very hard on us.
Yes.
Do you remember which scene it was from Dawn of the Dead that affected you the most?
In the mall. When they grabbed the guy, the motorcycle guys went into the mall, they broke, and they chopping up, then they caught one of the guys, and they started ripping his guts open. They're coming out, and they're eating. I'm like, oh, it just tripped me out. Man. I said, oh,
yeah.
Crap.
Well, George Romero
actually captures my mind every time I see that. I'm sorry?
Well, no, go ahead. But George Romero, he is one of these people that was very driven by something new, but practical effects meant a lot to him. So when you're seeing this, it looks real because of how practical his effects were.
Yes, and I'm gonna tell you, it was crazy. It was just the intensity at the end when they're trying to get away, and the zombies are coming in, breaking the walls, and I'm like, get out of there, get out of there, get out of there, you know, and get in that helicopter, shoot. Forget it. I don't know what I would do in that scene. I mean, if I was shooting a scene like that, and I said, just give me a gun, you know, I just shoot all of them tries to get away, you know. That's what I would do.
So this is a movie that has influenced, I mean, everything. I mean, you know, The Walking Dead, everything has been influenced by George Romero and the Dawn of the Dead franchise, really, any of them.
Right.
With this movie, I hate saying it like this because it's so dark, but what's your favorite kill from this movie?
My favorite kill, I tell you the truth, I really don't have it. I'm gonna tell you right now. I just saw that, and I just tripped out. And that the one that I've described to you is the one that always sticks into my brain. Every time I see Dawn of the Dead, like it just, that's the thing that sticks to my that song. I really don't have.
Yeah, and Well, it's amazing how these one scenes can stick with us for so long.
Right.
You know,
Right.
you watch it for the first. I always compare our first horror movie to doing drugs, and I don't condone doing drugs. I got to repeat that again.
Right.
You know, you do drugs for the first time, and you get that high, and then you're always chasing that dragon. And it's the same way with horror movies. You watch them for the first time, and you get that fear in you, and then you're always chasing that dragon again, trying to find those fears again. And that's what I love about horror movies so much, is because, and you have the nicest people that work on horror movies. You know, you go to conventions and you meet these people, or I'm lucky enough to have you guys come on the channel, and horror is the nicest community around. I mean, people will spend their days dressing up as Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees or Jigsaw. And you don't get that with romantic comedies. You don't have people dressing up like Ryan Gosling from The Notebook to go to a con. It just, you know, that's what horror means to us.
Right.
And while we're on the subject of what horror means to us, I want to flip the script here a little bit on you, Franky. What is your favorite horror movie of all time?
Of all time? The one I really enjoyed was Carrie.
Yeah,
Carrie. I really enjoyed it. I must have seen it plenty of times. I just liked the concept of it, of Carrie, how she got revenge. You know, how they mistreated her in the prom, and how she got back at them. I mean, I really enjoyed that one.
Well, and that one hits you in the chest too, because you got, and Sissy Spacek plays that role completely. I mean, she nails it.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. And you feel for her the whole time. The whole time you have this, because you think that maybe she can go home and get some, you know, get away from how hard she has it at school. But then you realize her home life is just as bad, if not worse, than the bullying she goes through at school. So for her to finally, you know, this is one of those times where you're rooting for that person. That's the evil person.
Yes. And that's what I felt. I want her to get back at those people that was mistreating her. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah,
and because that still happens today. I mean, and to me, that's why the new remake of Carrie, I couldn't get on board with it as much, because don't get me wrong, the lead actress, Chloe, she is fucking fantastic, but I can't take her seriously as someone that's been bullied and picked on. But with Sissy, you could totally relate to her, and you feel just that pain in your chest when you're watching her. And they don't make it like that anymore, because everything's so Hollywood now. But with her, you felt that just true devastation and true heartbreak. So great choice, man. That's a movie I could talk about for hours. I absolutely love it.
I really love that movie.
So when we go back to Dawn of the Dead, we always go back to a skull count. Now, we're not going to rank this on production, and we're not being film critics here. I just want to know, Franky, what Dawn of the Dead, what it meant to you and how it affected you. So 0 skulls being the worst, 5 being the best. What would your ranking of Dawn of the Dead be?
My ranking of Dawn of the Dead would be, to me, it'd be like about a 4. A 4, because I really enjoyed the concept of it, and the shock value it brought to it, and the story. It's just everything about it. I mean, the zombie, because that's my first movie I've seen, so I really have to go to that, because that really got me, and that really hit home with me, with all those zombies and the chase and getting away, and it's just the whole thing, you know.
In the Of the Dead franchise, I mean, you have the Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Diary of the Dead, Day of the Dead. Is Dawn of the Dead your favorite in that franchise of movies?
Yeah, because that's the only one I saw. I was like, forget it, I'm not watching that. You know, oh my God. Even that TV show, what they have, what's that TV show they have around it that's a hit? It's a
The Walking Dead?
The Walking Dead. My friend, John was in it. He got killed off, I think, in the 4th season or something like that. And I used to watch him, and I used to see him, and I said, "Oh my God, this really catapulted him too." You know, he did a lot of things too, and but I can't. Even though I watch the commercials, I can't sit down and really see one of those. You know what I mean? I get creeped out in a sense.
See,
that's just me.
So,
you know, my daughter.
Well, it's funny because
my daughter's 8. My daughter's 8, and she wants to see it. I think, you want to see that? Are you crazy? Your daddy. I showed. Let me tell you something, kid. I was here, and my kids never saw Saw. So I said, "Come here, kids." So I come over, and on YouTube, I said, "I want you to see something." So I show them the one with the cutting of the neck.
Yeah.
My daughter starts, oh no, she almost starts to cry. And I said, no, it's fake. It's fake.
Right.
And they're like, my son, he walked away. And so I showed it to her. But then now she sees it. She's like, oh, that's just that. That's fake. That's fake.
Right. But
So,
it's funny because at that young age, they don't completely, just like us, you know, at that young age, we didn't understand horror and what it meant. And you talk about how even to this day, zombies freak you out. And that's what I try to tell people. Your first horror movie isn't always an amazing experience. And, you know, some people, I have a buddy of mine that his first horror movie was Nightmare on Elm Street. And after he had watched that movie, he was so traumatized, he wouldn't sleep with sheets on his bed because the scene where the sheet comes and hangs the guy, like he was completely terrified. So our first horror movie isn't always like this amazing experience that makes us fall in love with the horror genre.
Right.
Like with you with Dawn of the Dead, it makes you never want to watch anything with zombies again because of how much it affected you. So that's why I love to do this, to get all the different perspectives on horror and how it's different for each one of us.
Right. There's another zombie movie coming out. I forgot the name of it. But it should be coming out soon, I think. But I wish I had the name. But I like that concept. What they have. It's almost like Z. Remember the movie Z with Brad Pitt?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's almost like that. And it's all this military people going after the zombies, and they're coming at them. And but that was really cool. I would have loved to have been in that one. I would have loved to have been in that one because now I know. Now I know
right.
what it's like, and I like to be one of those badass mother hubbers just coming in, just come on, mother,
Yes, dude.
Don't go buck wild with the big guns and stuff like that. Just have a good time. Yeah.
And see, and what I love about zombies is zombies are subjective. Like I have people that are like, well, zombies can't run. It's like, dude, if you watch the original Night of the Living Dead, which is to me the first zombie flick ever made, they're using bricks to open doors and smash windows. And zombies have never been this, oh, well, they can't do this or they can't do that. I mean, they're saying brains, zombies are subjected to whatever you want them to be. And I think if a zombie is running and making smart choices, that's even fucking scarier to me.
Right.
Like if I see a zombie just walking slowly and I can get away from it, there's really no fear there. But when you got zombies that are running and throwing bricks into windows to get in, I'm out. I get scared when there's a fucking spider in my house. You think I'm going to handle a zombie?
Yeah, I think about that when I drive to the Hamptons sometimes with my wife and I and the kids. We go to the Hamptons, and there's roads with no lights. Sometimes my wife shuts off the lights. It's like, what are you doing? It's like you can think about those zombies coming out of the freaking woods and stuff.
The minute she turns on the lights, there's a whole army of zombies in front of you.
Yes. What would you do? I was thinking, what would I do? What would I do? Oh my God! I'll run them over, do something. I mean, forget about it. I did another movie. I did a zombie movie with Cuba Gooding Jr. called The Devil's Tomb. Mm-hmm. It was going straight to TV. It was all right, that movie, The Devil's Tomb. If you just look at it and you just check it out, that's based on the zombie. And I was a military guy. We had to go into this cave and try to eliminate some of the zombies that were coming out of that cave. So that was pretty good. I enjoyed that one too. It was great. Working with Cuba Gooding Jr. So it was pretty good. That one.
Cuba Gooding Jr. He's an all right guy.
Yeah, he's cool. He's cool people. We worked together. We had a great time shooting the film, and it was a good experience for me. I have to tell you. I was in Europe, and so I had to fly back. My wife was a little upset. We had to fly. It was like honeymoon. I had to take I didn't go to my honeymoon for about a year because I was working. So I made it up. We went to Europe, and so I had to bring it back to New York, and then I had to fly to shoot that out in LA, and we shot that all in the desert. It was crazy, but it was fun. I was learning a lot of tactical stuff. There was some military guys, some Navy SEALs show me how to use the AR-15s and stuff like that, and how to shoot it. But that was a great experience as well.
And that's awesome for you to get into character so much that you're really learning these tactical things. So that way it looks legit when you're watching it. You don't want to look, because there are people out there that are going to pick it apart right away. Oh, he's not doing that right, or he's not holding that right. So for you to go through that tactical type of training so you know what you're doing so it looks legit, that shows a love for your craft because you want it to be done so well.
Yes, absolutely. Every time I try it, when I'm going into scene and carrying the gun or lifting it up, I ask the instructor, am I doing this right? Am I bringing it right? He says yes. But but I always keep my finger off the trigger. Always keep my finger off the trigger. That's it. So he says.
Man, this has been such a great time for me, Franky. Don't go anywhere, man. I got a couple more questions for you.
Sure, no problem.
Everybody else, I do have all of Franky's social media links down here in the description. Make sure you're giving him a follow. Really nice guy, and I promise you he will not hit you in the back of the head with a nailed-in baseball bat. As always, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Keep talking horror. Stay what you are, and we'll see you guys soon.